Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Agent Wealth Success. And you know what we do here. We help real estate agents and brokers to increase both their wealth and their business. And today we have a very special guest with us, that Roberto Carrera. And Roberto, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice being here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, and you know, you have an amazing background that you basically have been a disruptor in industries, and you were, you know, initially an engineer that worked with microprocessors and really helped move that whole telecom industry there. And you're moving now into something that all of us real estate agents and brokers can really start leveraging, because it's a piece of real estate, how we can take our residential homes, how we can increase value. So again, listen everybody, that this is what this session is going to do in our show today, is that Roberto's going to show you how you can actually increase the value of like listings that you have for homes, how you can serve your customer and decrease their costs, and they're literally their monthly costs, and at the same time help you make more money. And is that right? Is that pretty much what you can do for us, Roberto?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, well, yeah, the United States has currently pretty close to 140 million homes, single family homes.
Yeah.
And we have, using Google and NASA technology, we have looked at all the roofs, the rooftops, and we have seen that 100 million of them qualify for solar.
Wow. So we have 100 million homes out there that actually qualify for solar. So again, if some of you are sitting there saying, oh, this is just about solar, well, there's actually a lot going on with solar that we need to all know. First of all, there's this big opportunity. And again, it's a way to really serve, and for you to have a niche, or recently they've called it niche, to be able to, and you know, it's critical to have niches. So you have a niche of, you know, what your market is, and then what you specialize. It might be listings, or might be luxury homes, or new home buyers, or whatever. But now we're going to dig deeper. It's like kind of taking the onion back and peeling that onion back in order to do something that adds value that a lot of real estate agents aren't doing, and it's through solar. And so tell me more about, or tell us more about this opportunity, as far as, so there's 100 million homes. So, and again, and that's about, what, about 80% of the homes, and then out of that 80%, about 98% still the opportunity to put solar on their homes. And can you tell me, how much money does it typically save a homeowner by going to solar?
Well, our average consumer is saving about $26,000 during
a year.
$26,000 during the time they pay for the system.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The lifetime of the system.
Okay, the lifetime of the system. So they're saving $26,000. And are there other benefits, or what other benefits are there by me as a homeowner owning solar? Why?
Well, the price of your residence is going to increase. Okay, and this is found, actually, there was a study by Lawrence Berkeley, and actually I learned this through a real estate agent.
Oh,
she showed me the study, and it shows that the medium size residence in the United States increases the value at least $20,000.
Awesome. Right? Awesome. And was that $28,000 that I'll save then? Is that the number? Was it 28,000 that you said?
No, the 26,000 that I mentioned before come from the fact that right now we're all renting energy from a utility, right? And
Yeah.
of course, the business of the utility is to make money. The business of the utility is to serve their shareholders the best way they can.
Yeah.
So the price of energy keeps increasing. I mean, when was the last time you receive a reduction on your electric bill, right?
That's a great point.
It
So
never
I'm going to
happens.
save on electric. It kind of rings like I have more freedom, right? It gives me more freedom that I'm not tied to that and that I can.
Oh, absolutely. Well, freedom is going to give you a lot of security too. See, the world is changing rapidly, and one of those changes is some bad people hacking into electric grids, right?
Yeah.
That's a real danger. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be people that hack on the electric grills. It could also be a natural incident in which the electricity goes down.
Yeah.
And then it goes down for a long time, and that causes inconveniences to the household, right?
Yeah.
So basically, by going solar, and if you were to have batteries, you'll be covered for that. You have your own electric plant, and then you'll be totally off the grid. Now, in the
Okay.
United States, the electricity is very reliable. Seldom you have blackouts that last a long time, right?
Right.
So right now we're designing systems that are tied up to the grid, and basically all areas are different. But in areas where we have net metering is an agreement between a utility and the user, where they will buy the overproduction.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but the sun is capable in 15 minutes to send us enough energy to provide all the energy that mankind needs for a whole year, right? Now, bringing it down to size, then, that means that if I had the capacity to put enough panels, I could capture and store it. I could have enough energy in a very short time. I mean, the energy is there.
That's amazing. And I had never heard that statistic before, Roberto, and I love that. And the other thing I want us to be aware of is to help the environment. And this definitely helps the environment. And it also, most of you know I'm involved with ecobroker.com. And they basically just, want to help the environment. And they're in real estate. The owner is a broker in Colorado, but applicable anywhere in the United States. And there's all kinds of opportunities where you can get lower prices and mortgages and lower rates and other ways to save that. But back to your point on, so I had solar when I was in Florida, and I know it heated my water heater and it heated my pool. And so now you were saying it captures energy now?
It captures the UV rays from the sun, right? Coming to the panels, they hit the panels convert it to DC current. DC current is the type of current that you use on a battery, like for a flashlight or your cell or your computer, right? Your laptop.
Got it.
But now we need to convert that to AC, which is the type of electricity that the home appliances use, right?
Got it.
So in addition to the panel array of panels, now we have an inverter that will bring the DC to AC.
Oh, wow.
And feed it into the household.
Oh, my gosh. So would it be, so are you saying that I could do solar panels and I wouldn't need to ever buy electricity again?
If you have, see, now you're getting into the politics of the industry, right? There are areas of the country if we find an area in which we cannot do justice to the customer, we will tell them why.
Okay.
So it's all part of those 40 million homes that do not qualify for solar, right? Is because you need to have net metering in the area. And again, net metering is an agreement that you sign with your utility where you tell them, look, I'm going to have a solar system. It's going to be overproducing during the day. So I'm going to send you that electricity. and I want you to give me credit for that. So at night, when the sun is not there, and the system is not producing, you can pull electricity from the grid, but you're not paying for it. Basically, you're deducting your credit, right?
So where it has gone then is it'll still heat my water. Is that true that I can still do that? Okay,
yes,
so it'll
absolutely.
heat my pool, give me hot water for my showers, cooking, whatever. But then you're saying it will also, that I can actually collect this energy, send it back to the electric company, and they'll give me a credit on it.
Correct. In my case, I have a solar system at home.
Okay.
And during the months, let's call it the summer months, in which there are no clouds, there is sun there all the time.
Yeah.
The sun rises earlier and sets late.
Yeah.
I'm getting anywhere between $45 to $50 credit after having paid all the electricity. In other words, my bill zeroes out, but it also gives me a credit of $45 to $50. Now I have to be quick at telling you, I designed the system so that it would give me that 100% production, right? And what happens during the summer months is providing a lot more than what I'm using. I'm not at home all the time, right?
And then the credit, do you put the credit over into the winter time then?
Exactly. The credit rolls over. So if I get 45, let's say I get 45 in May, 50 in June, 50 in July, 52 in August, whatever, it all adds up. It ends up being $250, $300. And then when the season for a lot of clouds, rain, and what have you comes, and the sun, the day is shorter too, right? Mm-hmm. So it's less production. I'm using all those credits that I had in there. And in essence, I'm zero out in electricity. I don't have an electric bill. But again, I have to tell you, every case is different, which is the reason why we really need to do a study on every home, and we provide that free.
Exactly, and that's the next thing, is that what you're providing now. So just think, everybody, about the value that you're going to be able to have here. That basically, Roberto, as he just stated, is he for free. The consumer doesn't have to pay. Your client doesn't have to pay. They can go and get an analysis of their home, what it would require to do it. And then from there, am I right to say that there's no out-of-pocket costs then also?
Correct. We work with financial entities, that are very friendly to clean energy and are providing very low-cost interest. In any case, less than 5%. Most customers I sign, if they have good credit, they're getting the money at 2.99 without any money down. So basically, we buy the system, we pay the tax, we install. Everything is, as far as laying out cash out of pocket, is totally transparent. The customer doesn't have to lay out any money. And then the next month, the system starts producing. Their bill goes down to zero. Basically, they keep paying for the solar panels, their solar system. Once that's paid off, they have electricity free.
So typically, how long, first of all, is the loan amount? What's the duration of that? Is it 5 years, 10 years?
Well, it could be 5 years. It could be 7, 10, depending on. We have the capability of offering a lot more. There are people that realize, wow, this is an opportunity for me to get that much cash. Yeah. And you can give it to me for 10 years, 10, 15, 20, we can do it. It depends on them. The longer they have, the lesser the monthly payment is. So people are putting their money to use in things that they need.
Got it. Now, I know it's an open-ended question here, but just on average or kind of ballpark, I realize everybody is different, depends what they do and their objectives to do, but about typically, how much is that monthly payment for the solar?
Well, it depends with the system and what they choose. Again, they have the, we give them the possibility of choosing, do you want to pay in 7 years, 10 years, or do you want to extend it 15, 20? So that depends. It really depends on every person.
But
here's
just
what happens,
ballpark
right?
again, what are you paying or, just what did typically, is I guess I'm looking for, is this $200 a month? Is this $2,000 a month? About ballpark, how much is it?
But let me tell you what I did, right?
Yeah.
I know I was paying $200 a month every month,
right.
Except that in the winter months when I'm using a lot of heat, right? And the same system that gives me my AC gives me my electricity. So now it's spending a lot more. I'm getting $350 a month electric bills, right?
Right.
So my dream was, what if I could fix this cost to, let's say 200? I can live with the 200, but I don't want to pay 350 all of a sudden, right? I want to pay 200. Well, I go to the utility and they say, well, you have an average. Yeah, you pay 200 some months. You pay $350, $400. We can put you on a plan where every month you'll pay 325. That's your average, right? I say, well, that's too much for me. Then I figure, well, with solar, I am getting into a fixed payment agreement for X number of years, right? And I chose to have 285 is what I paid.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I did go up, but because I wanted to pay it sooner. I could have chosen to go for $150 a month, but extend the loan. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So, and now I didn't realize, I didn't know how it was going to work. It ended up working really good for me because I get that credit that I was talking about.
Right.
So that was a nice surprise.
So the bottom line is, you will typically, if you go buy solar, you'll be paying less per month. You'll net out less because your electric bill is less, and then you'll be paying for the solar, but that is, your savings is more than what you're paying for the solar and what you used to pay for the electric. So you're going to net out less per month by having solar typically. Is that a correct statement?
Correct. Yeah. And not to mention that my home value went up. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so now we got this a good understanding of this, that basically there's a huge opportunity out there. Most homes would be eligible for solar, that most homes don't have solar, so it's a huge opportunity. I know that you're in Texas, and I think that market is like 99% open, that I'm just guessing that like Phoenix and Florida, that they're probably not as high, but there's still a huge opportunity because this is a national podcast. But I'm assuming, and is that correct, that there's still a big opportunity in any market in the United States?
Oh, yes. I mean, we talk about California leading the residential solar market in the U.S., and they're less than 7% coverage of what they can install.
Goodness. Got it.
Texas is 1/10 of 1% installed. The potential is awesome. Yeah.
This is just amazing. So the value that for us to understand, this is going to help the environment. It's going to add value to your customer. That, for example, that if they just bought a house, some of your customers, you might want to advise them, hey, I have a way for you to save money. It would be a great way to maybe send out an email to your list and share that with them, and a great way to touch them with that. And I think you have some information that you could actually help them with that and understanding. So at this point, that if I'm a real estate agent, this is just great. It adds value to the consumer, my client. It's good for the environment. But you have some icing on the cake here, don't you?
Yeah, well, I do, because our company, and in fact, it was through the process of buying and selling homes that I became aware, wow, this is a great opportunity for real estate agents. And the reason was because I started getting the newsletters that real estate agents, my real estate agent was sending me, and I realized, wow, I guess the dream of my real estate agent is to keep in touch with me, so that if I ever sell this house, right, he'll be my agent to sell the house, and then he'll be my agent for the next house that I want to buy, right?
Right,
But
absolutely.
I'm reading the newsletters and I'm getting things like, yeah, spring is coming and this is how you get into gardening and all of that, right?
Yeah,
I always had to spend money to get the benefit of something, money that I had to take out of my pocket, right?
right.
And then talking to real estate agents, I realized, yeah, this is a great opportunity because the world is switching, whether we realize it or not. And
Yeah,
I don't mean to badmouth other, dirty sources of energy is what we call them now, right?
yeah,
Coal and oil and gas.
right.
But the installation of the adoption of solar will decrease your dependency on fossil fuel. And
Yes,
again, I'm not bad mouthing
right.
fossil.
I
Fossil
understand.
will still continue to be useful to humanity, but
Yeah,
it also the role in a household uh, can now be substituted by clean energy,
yeah,
and that's a benefit, right?
that's
But
a benefit.
going back to the real estate agent, we were talking at one time, and I also had this conversation with you initially.
Yeah,
The fact that you work on providing other sources of income, right? Streams of
right.
income, I think is what you call it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And our company is pretty much of that. You can say is in that group, like Lyft and Uber came and disrupted the taxi industry. No
yeah,
one ever thought that thing is going to work, but no one really knew the
right,
pain that a person that is not inside the city where all the hotels are
right,
goes through to get a taxi, right?
right.
And then EXP came into the real estate arena,
Yeah,
right? And it disrupted the industry.
right,
You don't have to have a brick and mortar building anymore to be
right,
there. To have to drive to an office, you can do it from any place, right?
right.
Well, that's what we are. We have an app, right? That people can download if they want to become involved,
Hmm.
okay? And then they can help any customer. They can send a newsletter and say, hey, if you're interested in solar, I can give you a free quote. And
Yeah,
all it takes is they already have the name, the physical address, the phone number, and email of the customer because they're sending them the newsletters, right?
yeah.
All they need is an updated electric bill for us to start doing the work. With the
Wow.
electric bill, what I do is I do a whole year study of, uh, of, of the consumption of that family,
Got it.
and I provide a professional written hard copy proposal of
Wow.
what it's going to take for them to go solar.
That's great.
I can do this through Zoom or in Texas around here, I actually go and
Sure.
visit them personally because
Sure.
I
Sure.
like to meet people. I like that personal touch, and I
Yeah.
also like to be fair and give them, I want them to see a face, right?
Yeah.
Even though with
Yeah.
the app, we don't have to. It's like a real estate agent. You could do a lot of stuff on your
Right.
platform,
Right.
but you want to be in touch with that person, right?
You bet. You bet. So, Roberto, now we come to another thing is that so it's just great for the consumer. They can get a free analysis on this, and you're a national company, so we can do it anywhere nationally, and a very reputable company, by the way. But then, we as real estate agents are saying, hey, I want to make some money on this too. And
Yeah, I was.
so I know that you have it to where it is competitively priced, but instead of a salesperson, if you will, that in essence, the agent will get a piece of that commission now and will be paid on that. And so, and again, I don't want to get into a lot of detail on this initial, because we talked about multiple streams of income that there are two streams of income that we're going to be able to enjoy here while we help the environment, while we help our clients, while we increase their value, while we decrease their monthly payment. I mean, really, it's a win-win-win. Everybody is winning in a lot of different ways. And now us as agents will win because we'll be able to get a commission, first of all, from one of our customers. And so, again, just kind of ballpark that, what's the average typical commission, and I know it's all over the place, but give me, is it $100? Is it, $300? How much is typically the average commission? So me as an agent, I have a customer. I give them to you to do that free survey, that analysis, and they buy. What typically am I going to get out of that?
Well, the typical commission is about $3,500 to the real estate agent.
Oh my God.
Okay, and that is based, yeah, we're paying. We have the best compensation plan, and it's not only the compensation. If you come into the platform as a consultant, if you go through a training and become certified, you still don't have to go out and sell.
Yeah.
You do exactly what we just said. You provide a name.
Yeah.
I become a mentor, right?
Yeah.
To that real estate agent. So I'll be doing work for them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But the company will assign the, everything is done on the platform. So
Yeah.
the check to the agent will go straight from the company
right.
to that agent, because he or she will be a registered agent.
Did you say I had to get certified?
Yes.
And how much? What is that? Like how many? Is it a couple hours or?
I did it in a weekend. It's basically to watch some videos.
Okay.
And to it's not a test to disqualify you, right?
Right.
We need, our goal is to do 2 million homes by 2024.
Okay.
And we're looking for all the help we can get. And we know real estate agents are very professional.
Yeah.
And they in fact go, they're constantly studying and getting certifications, right?
Yes.
In fact, I shouldn't say this because it's very early, but we're looking for a way to our certification to count as part of that. We're talking to groups of.
To do what? What was that?
For our certification to count as part of your education as a realtor.
Got it.
Because the world is really changing. I don't know if people realize this, but more and more people are going with electric vehicles.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example that is not the United States, right?
Okay.
In the European countries, Finland. In Finland,
yeah,
they had forecasted last year that their EVs, electric vehicles, was going to increase by 10%. Well, guess what happened?
Right.
The statistics came just now at the beginning of 2020 for 2019.
Yeah.
The market actually increased 30%, and the purchase of motorized vehicles by combustion vehicles by gasoline or diesel dropped 40%.
Wow.
So that means the drop was bigger than the purchase of EVs. The reason is supply, right?
Right.
But people want electric vehicles. Well, guess what happens when everybody has electric vehicles? Where are you going to charge for your electric vehicle? You're going to charge it at home, right?
Right.
If you have solar panels with batteries,
oh my gosh,
you go back home and you plug in your car.
Yeah.
Guess who they're gonna call? Let's say someone today goes solar.
Yeah.
Through one of the real estate agents in your group, right?
Right.
A couple years from now, they go electric vehicle. They're gonna call that agent and say, "Look, I need a charger because now I have an electric vehicle." They're gonna get commission on that.
Wow. So you actually. So just to be clear on that there's a converter to be able to charge the car with the solar.
Yes, there is already a converter in the market. Most of the applications right now are commercial, but we're visualizing quickly that it's going to happen in residential, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be huge because there's even mandates that governments are putting out, and they're getting stronger and stronger on everything has to go electric. Like you're going to have I think it's in 20 years, they expect like 90% of the cars to be electric. And so this is happening, and Tesla is just the initial, as far as the electric cars, that there's all kinds of big manufacturers, Ford, GM, and so our world is changing. You're exactly right. So now you're telling us that it actually can charge our cars too, and that you have the technology to be able to do that on residential. That's incredible, and I hadn't known that before, and that's a big thing. And in the next 20 years, and especially for agents that are going to be you know, that are young, are going to be around for the next 20 years in the industry, that that's something that they need to be aware of and be on the cutting edge. And this is cutting edge. We're talking about, this is where, you know, the world is going now.
This can be a real stream of income for real estate agents, because again, they have customers to whom they sold homes.
Yeah.
If one of these customers buys a solar system through them, right, they get a sizable income.
Yeah.
6 months after they buy an EV, they're gonna call that agent. They're gonna say, "Look, is it possible for me to put a charger?" Guess what? That's another form of income, right? They're gonna get another injection of capital because of that, and so forth and so on. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus, I shouldn't forget, since we're on the subject, our company, just like eXp Realty, I don't know how many of the listeners are eXp Realtors, but our company will also provide shares.
Oh, okay. So of your company, and your company is Power, P-O-W-U-R, and you put the U in there because it's about you, is that?
Because the difference is you.
I love that, because the difference is you. Yeah. And so again, it's P-O-W-U-R, because the difference is you, and you'll have stock. And I'll share with you that most agents, I became a millionaire initially because of stock. I was with Procter & Gamble for 15 years, and when I left them, I hadn't paid for it at all, but they had given me stock. And so stock's a way that millionaires become millionaires and billionaires become billionaires. It's stock. It's not their monthly income or how many closes that they have. And so you're saying that now that I can actually own stock in the company as well, based on my production, right? How many I do. And then the other thing that you have shared with me that I want like you to share with our audience today is that not only will you be able to, again, help the consumer, help the environment, help your clients, you know, decrease their monthly bills, increase the value of their home, really the list goes on, and be the cutting edge. Soon their cars are going to need this, you know, electricity that you're going to be able to power from your home. But in addition to all that, then you're going to get a commission, and a sizable one. You average about $3,500. But then in addition to that, you're going to do basically you're spreading the wealth. And to spread the wealth that you have, what most people would say multi-level, that, you know, who is it? Warren Buffett owns 7 multi-level companies. Here in Dallas, we have Mary Kay, we have the energy company. You know, there's all kinds of major companies that are quote unquote multi-level, to include, by the way, Keller Williams too. But in fact, that's where they started and grew so much because of that. But you have that component as well. Is that correct?
We have that component as well. Yes, that is correct.
Great. And just briefly on how many levels does that go? So if I invite agents or anybody really, you know, that you don't have to be a real estate agent to do this, but how many levels do you go down then?
We go down 6 levels.
The 6 levels. And so, you know, very similar to the Keller Williams model, the EXP model. And so you go down 6 levels in that. Just kind of ballpark, and again, I know this is just, you know, some general numbers, but if I make 3,500 on mine, that if I invite an agent and they invite an agent, et cetera, that or person, anybody can do it again. And it's a great opportunity, a great sales opportunity for people that aren't agents, as well as agents, because they're, you know, dealing with homes and residential. About how much money am I making per close on the things that they refer?
You will make $600 off of the first generation. So if you invite a person into the business and they sell a system, you will get that straight from the company.
Got it.
Yeah, the second generation goes down to 300.
Okay.
And then the last 4 is 150 each 150.
Time. Okay, times 4, so that's 600, so that's 12, 14, about $1,500, something like that. Plus you have the $3,500 on yours. So you can see that it's a great way for passive income. And passive income, you know, that's on my dochankwebinar.com. That, you know, that's the fifth step is to have passive income. That's the name of the game. You can, there's lots of different ways to do that, but this is another new way, Roberto, for all of us to be able to add just so much value to the world and to share in the profits of that. And
absolutely, yeah, you'll be able to look at your grandkids in their eyes and say, I did my part to clean the environment, because, you know, each solar system, I'm talking about the average solar system in the country, it takes about 4,500 pounds of CO2. It prevents 4,500 pounds of CO2 from going into the environment.
And what is that for per home? Is that per year, or what was that?
Per the average home per month.
Per month.
4,500 pounds of CO2 per month. Yeah.
Average home per month. Okay, got it. Yeah, so you're right. You look your grandchildren in the eye, and you know, I'm up to, I think it's 5 grandchildren now that I have.
God bless you.
And those little guys that I just was looking at, I had 2 yesterday and 2 the day before that I was able to, you know, look in their eyes via FaceTime, because they're all over the U.S. But as I'm just thinking about looking in their eyes right now, I want to be a part of making sure that this is a good world, and a good world starts with the environment, that they, you know, need air and fresh water and all of that, and that's where EcoPro comes in, and now this power POW.
I'm glad you mentioned water, because it's something I usually forget.
Yeah.
But did you know that regardless of which fossil fuel is used to heat your home or to provide electricity to your home, those utilities use an average of 10,000 gallons a month of water to produce to process the either coal or to bring out the gas.
And then
10,000 gallons a month per household.
Per household. Wow. Oh my.
So when you switch to solar, you don't think of these things, but actually, is, you know, the environment is benefiting as well.
Yeah. Now the 4,500 CO2 is that per home per month too?
Yes.
Yeah, per month. So both
on an average home of 10, where the system is 10 kilowatts.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So you're using up CO2. No, you're not. What are you with CO2? You're putting into the environment CO2.
No, we're capturing. In other words, we're preventing that much CO2 to reach the environment by stopping the use of fossil fuel.
Right. So it's poisoning 4,500. What is that? Pounds
of CO2. Yeah.
Of CO2 is basically poisoning the environment every month per home.
Right. When you use fossil fuel.
Yeah, when you use fossil fuel, and then it's using 10,000 gallons of water in order to generate that. And what's happening to the water? Is it using it up, or is it?
Well, it gets contaminated, unfortunately. In the case of, for instance, in the case of fracking, you know, is contaminating, and it also, we're running the risk of contaminating, you know, the environment.
Sure. Yeah. My goodness gracious. Well, there you go. There you have it. That this is a way for your grandchildren and so most of you will have grandchildren, if you don't already, that here's a way to really make their lives better, and in many different ways that make their lives better with the environment, but also with your wealth, because this is a legacy type of thing that to build your wealth, it's a way for you to be able to serve your customers, be good for the environment, and then to build your wealth. Again, $3,500 average income per sale that you do. And then after that, the people that are involved in it that you invite and they invite, et cetera, 6 levels, that can be about another $1,500 to
you. You know, I have agents that have become so enthusiastic about it that they actually put it on their mailing list. I don't know what they do. The newsletters, they probably are very good at keeping in touch with their customers.
Yeah.
But you know, once they start bringing in a sale a week,
right.
I mean, you know, it's pretty good money in the end. You know, it can
a
be
sale a week gives you just, you know, on your own, that gives you about $14,000 a month. And really more than that, because the month is the number of weeks in a month is 4.3, the official
4.3
of you know, weeks in that. So you're making about 15 grand. And again, the opportunity is huge. It's good for the environment. You'll be able to also make money, and money is good, folks. Money is just freedom, gives you more choices, more variety, and instead of going to corporate America and them hoarding all the money, that we're just sharing the money here. Another way for you to have passive income and really with heart be able to help your clients, help your prospects, be out there, really have a niche here and a competitive edge. So how would we get a hold of you then, Roberto, to learn more about this?
Well, again, the easiest way today, because I'm always on the road, is to text me. I welcome anyone. You know, of course, you have to identify yourself, because I also get hit with a lot of unwanted calls, you know, telemarketing calls, robocalls, or what have you.
Yeah.
So I like to put everyone on my agenda, you know, my phone's agenda.
Yeah.
Just shoot me a text with your name. You know, it helps to have an address as well, because we have seminars in different states, and these are free to attend.
Okay.
Right? We have an educational push, which is very strong right now.
Okay.
We're coming up with a Texas tour, which is going to cover, you know, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, right? And even smaller cities. You know, we're going into that. But we also have him in Florida. We have him in California, Nevada, Arizona. I mean, yeah. So
right. So Roberto's number is 214-280-5526. Of course, you can always get a hold of me as well, and I can share the good news with you at 214-753-7204. So contact Roberto or I. Let them know that you were listening to the Dr. Hank podcast, Agent Wealth Success, and that you'd like to get involved to be able to help the environment, to be able to help your clients, your prospects, to build your business, and then to build your income and your passive income as well. So Roberto, we thank you so much for your time with us, and any last message you want to leave with us?
Well, I'm flattered that you know my number by heart. You know? Thanks for the invitation. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate that, and hopefully we'll help a lot more families, you know, help themselves.
You bet, absolutely.
And make some money in the process, right? Why not?
You bet, you bet. So everybody wins with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for tuning in to Agent Wealth Success, where we build your business, we build your wealth, and, you know, really we build your heart, your life, to have a better life. And so from Roberto and I, we wish you all the best until we see you next time. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.